Welcome to me and my shadow, part one, episode one on saying yes. I'm Chelsea Walsh. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, a certified mental health and wellness coach, and I also am a writer on Substack. My Substack handle is Me and My Shadow Self. And this is the part where we bring the unseen parts of ourselves to the surface. This is where we look at the shadow, the patterns, the grief, the fears, the desires, all the things underneath our humanness, because we cannot change what we're not willing to see. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about saying yes, and this is rooted in an essay that I just wrote about going to Paris 2 weeks after my late husband passed, which was just over a year ago now. So, my husband and I had been together for 18 years. He had always been very healthy. In fact, he had no medical history. And when he was 49 years old, he was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And he had 3 years where he went through this diagnosis. And after he died, my sister invited myself and my two children to go to Paris, and it just felt absurd. I couldn't even grocery shop. The idea of being in public just felt too exposed. You feel like when somebody dies, you're just bleeding out, and the cruelty of the world continuing for me was agony. It was too much to bear. But then I could see him smiling and laughing and being like, "What? Fuck yes, you're going to Paris." And that's when I told my kids, it is our obligation to live big and to live as big as humanly possible because that's all your dad wanted. And even during cancer, he chose to show up and to keep living. It was agony, it was painful, it was hard, but he had very wise words from a dear friend of his who had gone through cancer. And she said, when you feel just good enough, you keep showing up. When I think about yes and yeses in life, I think about how my husband never told me no, except for two times that I can recall. One time he told me no, he asked me not to paint the fireplace because I thought I wanted to to whitewash our fireplace. And I did it anyways, and it was a disaster. And the next time he told me yes, which was many, or yes, told me no, which was many years later, was when my girlfriend wanted to bring her dogs over, and our little toy poodle is an asshole and will pee. So I said no. Um, and those were the only times that I remembered him saying no to me. He said yes to any adventure I wanted to do. It didn't matter how ridiculous it was. He said yes to travel. He said yes to living. And it wasn't until cancer that the no's started coming. And for me, I felt like there was so many no's. As somebody who travels all the time, I was saying no to travel. I was saying no to trips. I was saying no to anything that would take me away from him. Anything that would take me away from our two kids. That was my priority because time becomes so valuable when you don't know how much time you have on this earth, which is all of us, by the way. None of us know how much time we're going to be, but when you're given a terminal diagnosis, it's like you get slapped in the face with the reality that none of us know how long we have on this earth. My epiphany today was that every no that I said was saying a yes to something else. My no on the outside world was a yes to him. It was a yes to our children. It was a yes to being there, to caring for my family. It was a yes to having more time together. And once you really understand that your yeses mean something big and mean something different, you can start looking at your life and are you purposefully living? Because here's the thing. We want to get really fucking clear about what our yeses are. And here's the other truth. Our behavior, your behavior, my behavior will tell us the truth about what actually matters. Here's the shadow part. You can see how much somebody's family matters by how they are behaviorally. You can see how much somebody cares about their health by how they treat their body. If somebody says that their peace matters to them, you will see if that matters by how boundary they are, what they choose to take in, what they don't. If you look at where your time is going, where your energy is going, it becomes really obvious what you're actually saying yes to. Because your life is built behaviorally on all of these yeses. And this is where your behavior matters because you have 100% control of your behavior. We have 100% control. That is the one thing we can choose. We can choose our behavior. We want to wait all the time for life to change. We say, oh, well, I'll wait to get motivated. I'll wait for clarity. I'll wait till I feel less scared. But here is the truth. The behavior is the shortcut to implementing those yeses. Sometimes you have to start walking before you feel motivated to take a walk. Sometimes you have to set a boundary when you're scared shitless. Sometimes you get on that plane when all you want to do is stay home. And here's what happens every time you have behavioral activation. Your brain, it hits the reward part and you're like, I did it. And the bonus is this is how self-trust gets built. France was that for me. The person who I wanted beside me was not there, and that did not change. I wanted my husband to be there, and he was not there, in spirit, not in body. And I had to ask myself, what am I going to do with my life that is still here? And behaviorally, that meant I got on a plane. It meant I went to Paris. It meant I cried in museums. It meant I laid underneath the trees, listening to birds, watching lovers tangled together in the grass. And I missed my husband so badly that my entire body felt like it was being attacked. And another conflicting thing happened. I couldn't stop thinking and feeling how fucking beautiful this city was. Both things were true. There was beauty in the lovers in the park. There was beauty in art. There was beauty in all these intricate details. There was beauty everywhere. And that agony and that grief existed alongside it. And that's what rebuilding has taught me, that you don't stop grieving the old parts of your life in order to participate in the new one. There isn't a lot of waiting. You can miss out, and I don't want to say miss out, you can miss what was and still be curious about what can be. You can be heartbroken and hopeful at the same time. You can be scared and brave. You can be grieving and grateful. All of these things can coexist. So here's what I want you to think about this month. What are you a yes to? Not what do you say you're a yes to? Look at your actual life and notice where is your time, where is your energy, where is your behavior going? And then ask yourself this. What do I want my yeses to be? You do not have to rebuild your entire life today. All you have to decide is the next right step because eventually those little teeny weensy tiny yeses become something big. They become your life. That is it for this month of Me and My Shadow. Next month, we're going to talk about something that seems completely backwards. We're going to talk about getting small so we can get big again. When life becomes too much and your world explodes, sometimes the answer isn't to get big or to big builder, it's to get big builder, to build bigger. It's to get really fucking small. You don't have to have it all figured out. Until then, keep living on purpose, keep bringing that shadow to the surface. And as always, take care of yourself and your loved ones. All the love, all the gratitude, all the virtual hugs, all the things. Signing off. Bye.